Welcome all to the Random Bull.
Hey,
You got me, Ty Rick.
Nigel, Crazy Legs, like always.
Crazy Legs. And you got me, Kata K, aka Keith Ray. Welcome. Our first episode of 2020, turn of the new decade, son. Cheers and Happy New Year's once again to you all.
Cheers, you motherfuckers.
January 2nd, 2020.
We put it behind us. We put it right behind us.
Feels good.
I feel like I haven't done a podcast since like last year.
I like that joke. It applies to everything.
Somebody shoot that man.
Bro, I haven't had Wendy since last year, bro.
I hate you. He's just going to keep hammering that shitty ass joke home.
Until it's dead in the road, flattened like some skunks.
So let's talk about what we were up to last year.
All right, start things off.
For real though.
Start with 9. Kick things off, 9.
The past week, we talked from last episode to now. I mean, we went through New Year's Eve, the party night of the fucking world, and we all went out as a nice group. Went to go see our buddy perform. How'd you enjoy the night, Ty?
That's all that happened in your past week was that party?
Work. I mean, who wants to listen to work?
All right, well then we'll just fast forward to what my last week was like. The day before New Year's Eve, I went and put some money down on a new truck, a Toyota Tacoma, 2018, 13,000 miles. So
Good shit.
that shit is basically like brand new, you know. And that's new.
Like new. You know when they put the quotations in between the like new?
Yeah, no, it's the newest shit I ever had, because my first one was well over 100,000. When I actually got to go to a dealership for the first time and make a purchase like a grown man, it had like 60,000. So 13,000, that's a brand newish whip for me. So that happened, and then like the next night we're getting ready, go tearing up, go have fun for New Year's Eve. Had a great night with a bunch of friends, got drunk, and I'm just saying my goodbyes, wrapping up, and I'm dancing on the stage, getting jiggy with it a little bit, you know what I'm saying? And I go to step off and just roll my ankle and and fell in front of like the whole remaining bit of that party. And I didn't hear that much laughter. Did people laugh at me that bad?
No, not really. All I see in the corner of my eye, because Nye had already left for the night, so all
Were people concerned?
Probably after, but you know I was giving you the scolding, because that's all that seems to be hammered.
Oh yeah.
In my head today is like,
yeah, I'm walking away. Kiefer just keeps saying, "I told you we should have left. I told you we should."
I mean, at least he didn't stand over you like, see, that's what you get.
He might as well have said that. You know, it was goddamn close.
Because I was rounding everybody up to go. Like, I was ready to go. I felt like an old man. I did have a real good time though. I had a great time. Big shout out to Promise and Dre and Chris Peoples and all the guys at the Room Temperature podcast. You know, Random Bull was there showing our love. You know, so yeah, so far so good. With the New Year's, and got a little drinky on, but I know I had to drive, so
nothing of note though in the last week.
Well, yeah, I'm getting to it. So you know, today.
Jeez, rushing them. Let them talk, Ty.
Today,
let's go.
On the way home from work,
Junior.
which was a couple hours ago, because right now it's 9. So around 4 o'clock, I get a call from a welding job. If some of you don't know, I've been going to welding school for about 2 years now, trying to get my foot in the door in this workforce. And went to a welding job 2 weeks ago, took a test, passed that piss test, had a great time. You know, they hit me up and they're like, "Hey, we want to hire you."
Hey.
So, you know, next level up in pay, next level up. So got the new whip, got the new place, got the new job coming along. So
you're gonna be called One Job Keith, and we got Crazy Legs Nye. Hey. Why are they calling you Crazy Legs? Mine is the one that's all swole up. I got the craziest leg in the room.
You do. You don't even have a leg on that side. It's just like knee, calf.
That shit,
foot.
That shit look like
calf and in your foot.
It look like the grandma ankle. You know when she got a little diabetes.
Oh, she's been sitting in a wheelchair for too long.
The elephantitis leg.
Damn.
So if that does it for our weeks, we can talk about what we're about to get into.
Some scary stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Some scary stuff.
Taking Halloween to the next level.
in the fucking midst of winter. But no, we were just talking about going and seeing a psychic.
I mean, when it comes to the whole psychic world, what are you thinking? You thinking we gonna get our fortunes told? You think we're gonna get good fortune, bad fortune? All I could think of is Miss Cleo.
I'm expecting to just have like a good laugh about it.
Are you expecting tarot cards or like a crystal ball?
I'm expecting a bad accent, a mole of some sort. Either on, you know, where the girls get the Monroe piercing, the mole's gonna be there with a hair sticking out, or either a mole on the bridge of the nose.
Yeah, but as far as like all that stuff is probably true. Listen, all that stuff is probably true, and we're probably gonna see that.
She's gonna give us a poisonous apple.
There's gonna be 7 dwarves. You know what I mean? They're gonna be there. We gotta be ready for that. But
I'm saying,
on top of that, though, do you believe? Does anyone here actually believe in anything paranormal? Like, we'll start with psychics, but this is a paranormal type episode.
So, I mean, psychics wise, not really. I feel like all that shit, no, not real.
What do you think, Keith?
I believe that, it's probably gonna sound crazy, but I believe that all of us have a little bit of psychic ability. Just some people are more intuitive than others.
What makes you say that?
Because I believe women's intuition is a fucking phenomenon. That shit is type real. Sure. Sometimes it could just be a bitch that's paranoid, but other times that also goes into paranormal activity, a little paranoia.
Did you have any experience with that at all? Like, you're just saying you believe in women's intuition. Has there ever been a time where that's actually been proven?
Well, my own intuitions, which is not women's intuition, like a gut instinct. If you've ever been in a situation where your gut is telling you, yo, I shouldn't do this, and then you find out the results of something going awry.
That happened to me today. That happened to me today.
Well,
that's so weird.
I think that's paranormal in a sense. Maybe it could be in the lines of superstitious, but you know, maybe I was
packing my duffel bag to get ready to come here, and I was like packing up all the mini bottles of Patron, and then there's that cracked bottle of Jim Beam, and I'm like, one of these, you know, the bottle of Jim Beam might be open. I should probably check it. And then I just shoved it in the plastic bag and put it in the duffel bag I got here, and there was spillage. It wasn't substantial. Didn't fuck up my laptop or the GoPro or anything in the bag, but there was a little spillage in the bag, and I was just like, that's one of them moments where I knew better. But I don't think it's paranormal. It's just like I fucking lived and learned. I've thought, hey, I should check on this, and then it fucked me in the ass later, like a million times.
It was a gut feeling you didn't go with. I say it was a gut feeling.
But was it spiritual though? Was it otherworldly?
It could have been. It could have been spiritual if you want to say it like that. Yeah, because it's like I feel like you were saying, we have a little that like little. You know, we get feelings of shit. Like times where a person might go into a place and then they're like, I have a bad feeling about being here, and then they leave, and then come to find out later on in the night some bad shit happened, right? So it's like I believe in that, but like real, like a person being like, oh, this is gonna happen to you because based off these cards.
But that's to me, that's gut instinct. I'm not connecting that to paranormal. And when we actually go
to like psychic stuff,
when we actually go and confront this sham liar,
shenanigans.
You know, when we actually go confront this beast, I think we're gonna prove my point that we all had a good laugh. You know, we're out like $100, and we all learned the same shit. You know, there's plenty of con artists here in 2020, just like there was thousands of years ago when these people popped up in their fucking caravans,
pickpockets,
like Miss Cleo and shit.
Miss Cleo.
I'm excited about the footage. I hope we pick somebody that's like they really care about like the aesthetic of the shop and like the way they present themselves. I want there to be like a fat gem glued to her forehead or some shit. You know, like I want to believe it. I want to believe it if I'm gonna go. So.
You guys know I'm gonna look for one with a mole. Like we all got homework to look for shit, but I'm gonna specifically look for one
very soon
with a mole.
I want her to have like an accent, like she's from an island somewhere.
What kind?
Like
an island. They're all from like Europe.
Like she's a shaman or some shit.
They're all from Europe, bro.
She
Like,
gonna be a
face
shaman?
paint or some shit. Or yeah, even if we go to, if it's a guy, I want him to be like in fucking, I want his whole body be painted or some shit.
You're gonna wind up like if we start like.
I want him to have fucking skulls
Do they
hanging
have
from
an
his
app
necklace.
for psychics like Uber where you get the picture of your reader? You know what I mean? So I mean, if you guys go that route, I feel like we're gonna wind up stumbling
So, hold
upon
on.
them.
I
Are
want
you
him to have a
gonna-
bone in his nose?
But if they have a Uber star rating, are you gonna want to go for one with good stars, with a 5-star rating, or a 1.2 star rating? Because I'm saying we could probably get some fire shit out of somebody with a 1.2 star. They're just gonna tell us that shim shit you were talking about. That's what I think.
I want to really connect to the other side.
We got to hit up John Edwards. Do
But,
you know someone with a P?
You just brushed.
Elemental P.
Is there a man named John in the audience? Is there? He's like got his eyes closed like this for some reason. Is there a Maria? Maria?
Mary?
Hold on though. Was John called out? John Edwards called out for being a fake?
I feel like yeah.
What
Yeah.
about Chris Angel? Cause that boy there good.
Yo,
that's
he's
some
a
paranormal
demon.
shit.
He
Not-
doesn't
he's
read
a
nobody's
demon.
future.
but he's paranormal though.
He's doing some weird. He's like making people levitate and shit.
has
Magicians are not paranormal. That's like witches.
has he ever
Yeah.
been discovered as a fake though?
I don't know.
He's a performer, so he's fucking with our heads. But I
I
do
don't even know
believe
why.
he.
No, stop. We're not talking about Chris Angel. We're not doing a magic episode. We'll do a magic episode someday. He's not magic. We're talking about
He's paranormal.
I'll say he's otherworldly. That's the vocab we're gonna meet at.
I feel.
All right, we can agree to disagree.
feel-
This is happening on
he's
my
a-
terms.
I feel like he's
I
a
don't know
demon.
why.
But anywho, back to like paranormal shit. I mean,
How can we believe in it when there's been like Miss Cleo went to jail?
but that's what I'm saying. Like we're going with all these like expectations, what we think a psychic is gonna do for us, and like what they're gonna look like and shit. And
I'm not sure I have anybody on the other side that's really gonna even reach out to me. Before we waste our money, does anybody have anyone dead that is gonna talk to us?
Yeah,
My nana.
I mean, but
dead,
is that
my
what a psychic
great-grandmother.
does? A psychic brings those dead people forth.
those are mediums more so than the
You
psychic.
see,
Like they're all different.
like
I keep mixing it up. I don't know what they do. I know they're all
it's like-
liars.
I mean,
They're all.
So this is why I was saying, do
I mean,
those
they
guys go
say-
in the lines of paranormal?
they
The-
try
the
to say
magicians?
they say a psychic is like a person that uses their like intuition to receive information from about from the other side about someone's past or present or future type shit, but
That's really intuitive.
yeah, but most of I don't know, sometimes you fill out like a questionnaire beforehand if you're like one of
If
those
you're going
big,
to what? Now,
and like
somebody
one of
that's
those
telling you?
big seminar type
A
shit.
psychic? You fill out a questionnaire for a psychic?
Bro, they got to know who you are.
As soon as they hand me the questionnaire, I'm leaving.
they got to know who you are.
Yeah, that's why they were born with a gift.
So you're gonna walk in there and be like, "I'm not telling you nothing. I'm not telling you my name. I'm not telling you nothing about me.
So
it's
was
on
that-
you
I
to
feel like
figure
that's
it
the way
out.
to go in, I guess. Yeah,
it's on
yeah.
you to figure it out."
I want y'all to explain this one.
Where's
to
that
me.
blunt at? You need
Couple,
a
right
lighter?
here.
couple years ago,
Sorry, I'm sitting
I
on
went
it.
to a psychic, right? Had $80 for her. She was like, "Are you sure you don't have another 20 in your wallet?" She
Is
knew
she-
I had a buck.
Is she? Yo,
She knew I had a buck.
no, she didn't.
She just wanted more. She was fishing for some.
She spent some time hoeing. That's what that's where that part of that profession.
Yo, hold
comes.
on. So I got a pretty decent reading, because this was before I got in trouble and everything. So she was like, it's gonna be a rough life, but everything will get better. But she kept it really vague. The thing that fucked me up, aside from the goodish, baddish news, was she was like, "Can you go to Speedway and get me a 12-pack of Diet Coke?" And she knocked off some bread off the bill.
This is a psychic, and she gave you a good reading though.
I would say it was mediocre at best because it was vague as hell. You know what I mean? A little bit of good's gonna happen, a little bit of bad's gonna happen. That's just life
not-
in general.
That's not a good reading to me.
That's regular.
That's a regular life.
That's like
So-
if I didn't know you and you were just telling me that, like, yo, I'm going through it, XYZ happened. That's some advice I would give to you, not even knowing you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh,
but it's real vague. It's
life
almost like,
is
bro, you
tough,
can walk up
you
to
know?
anyone and be like, "Listen, you're gonna go through some hard times. it's gonna get better. I'm a psychic. Like,
But by the way, give me some coke.
And a regular person, and a regular person might be like, yo, thanks, yo, I am going through some shit right now. Like, you're not being a psychic. You're just telling some regular.
Just
I seen this quote on. I seen this quote on Instagram. I'm just reading it to you type shit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I can't wait. We were planning on that, and then I want to do some paranormal stuff too. I got two.
Like a haunted house?
2 separate psychos lined up. Okay, we got one childhood friend's parent believes her house is haunted, and then there's another one. My brother-in-law, his coworker believes he was possessed and had it exorcised out of him. We would actually probably want to bring in studio. So we'll see how it all pans out. But I also want to do that. If we can't find somebody that's gonna tell us something about the future, past or present, I want somebody that'll scare the shit out of us, maybe with a good ghost story.
So would you want a poltergeist story, or would you want the person to summon a bad spirit and have them put into you, and then we can try and exorcise it out of you?
Nobody said nothing like that. Nobody said nothing even remotely close to that. I just explained to a T what I wanted to do, and you asked me some next shit.
But that's what
the fuck are you talking about?
In the brain.
This is crazy. This is crazy.
So, okay, they're gonna put a demon.
This is crazy talk. This is Constantine.
I'm saying then we gotta hit up Chris Angel and he could exercise you.
Yeah,
he's not an exorcist, bro. I'd rather have Keanu Reeves exercising.
Or I mean, he might know some shit,
bro. He played Constantine. He was just exercising demons the whole movie.
Just
paranormal. I feel like paranormal shit. We got to find like a haunted house, a real haunted place. Because I mean, when I was younger, years back, everybody talked about in Galway, the old insane asylum.
I went there.
Right, I went there too. And I mean,
what'd you experience?
I can say that I definitely just felt in the air that like there's some weird shit in here. There's feelings in the air. You could feel it, like, and you could feel just like, damn, someone might have been like, people were tortured and crazy people were chained to beds in here. Like, you could just hear and feel it.
But that's because, like, I feel like you're influenced by the knowledge that you already have of the place. Like, it's making it spookier. When I went there, I was high. I was a little bit drunk.
I was just high.
And I got, like, on the way there, I was going to flip. Maybe this is some demon shit. I was going to flick my cigarette, and the cherry flew off and stuck to my neck. And I smacked it, and the embers crawled down my back. And I
just hit an updraft.
Oh, shit.
So maybe that's the spiritual shit. But once I got there, it didn't look any different than any abandoned building I ever been in inside Schenectady.
Did you take anything out of there?
Hell no.
But hold on. No, why didn't you?
Because I'll tell you, this guy we go there with, he's like, it's the 5th time I've been here this week, man. It's not scary. He's going, and I'm scared while we're driving up there. I'm smoking my cigarette. I got burned. I'm like, oh my God, this is gonna be terrible, right? But then we got there, and I'm like, this just looks like an abandoned place. Like, there's graffiti. We snuck in through the basement. They had a door. So we slipped down there, and I'm looking around, not that scared, and he goes, I seen blood. He's like freaking out. He's like, I'm like, where? He's like, no, we gotta go. And he's like flashing the only flashlight we had, and he's like running this way. And this guy was military. He was talking all types of shit, like I told you, but he was terrified, and I was just like, all right, like, we gotta go. So I started running. I was a little bit scared at that point because we're all worked up,
Adrenaline pumping.
Yeah, we were scared a little bit at that point, but he freaked out and we had to go within like 5-10 minutes. So I didn't really explore. I didn't have enough time to catch a chill.
Would you have taken anything out of there? Like, if you seen something that you just caught
that struck my eye?
Would you? Yeah. Would you bring? You'd
if it was money or
not
something
money,
like a nice artifact, like I could put in my room.
Just something you can be like, oh, I got this from the insane asylum. Would you have brought it home with you?
Yeah, probably would have. There was mad paper on the ground, mad paperwork. Like, I didn't even get to stop and read it. Like,
you could be bringing some shit with you back.
So we did touch upon one of the next topics is what's the difference between a medium and a psychic. But I really feel like the topic should be what's the difference between a psychic and a magician, because Kiefer obviously has no fucking idea. He wants to keep bringing up Chris
Angel is not only a magician, he's a performer. He's an illusionist.
Keep going.
He bends the mind. Like, I really think motherfuckers like him and Who's the old head?
David Blaine.
Well, David Blaine. But
Blaine,
nah,
Blaine
I'm
is
talking about
David Copperfield.
the one who would tie himself up in the chains from back in the day. Houdini. Motherfuckers like them, they said it made a pact with the devil and shit. That's some paranormal shit, bro.
That's some Rasta shit.
Yo,
bro.
That's your family's heritage raining down.
I feel like David Blaine is in a different category than Chris Angel, because Chris Angel is like, he'll take like a broom. Like his first trick was he levitated his mom on a broom. That was his first trick as a little kid.
Come on, bro. Tell me that's not paranormal.
That was like the story. That was his first.
If we could get some Chris Angel,
I'm not inviting him over for sleepovers. You know what I'm saying?
Like, he's just practicing while you're sleeping. You wake up and you're floating in the air.
My mom's floating in the air. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Why are you doing that, bro? Like,
bro, I just wanted to be friends. I just wanted to be friends. Fuck Xbox.
He's just a demon. I feel like he's just a demon. Period. Point. He's just a demon.
More questions I would have for like a psychic or anybody that can talk to us about the other side is why don't we see animal ghosts? Everybody always reports, and how come we don't see no ghosts from the 80s?
Have you seen
like a pimp named Slickback walking around? You know what I'm saying?
What about Animal Cemetery?
Pet Cemetery.
Well, Pet Cemetery.
What about that movie?
I mean, not that, but it's like, think about it. They had animal ghosts and shit. You put them in there, you see the animal again.
I don't see your point because you're just talking about a movie.
Because that was already someone's thought. So it's like there's probably animal ghosts out there. It's just, why would we be seeing an animal ghost?
Why would we?
Yeah.
Well, because they have a soul. That's the hitch of the argument. Is if they don't have ghosts, then nobody from the 80s on, or nobody from like 1900 on had a soul. And animals don't have souls because it's always some old motherfucker in like slave era clothes with chains and shackles and shit. Like, it's never an animal. It's never somebody like that has like a fucking South Pole fucking hat.
Some people have seen like old school cowboys on their horse.
That's a long time ago. So, cowboys ain't real like that no more.
Cowboys are real.
Cowboy hats.
I mean, Lil Nas X would say, "Holding my cowboy hat."
He hasn't said shit since. He's talking about paninis. So really,
I don't know. I feel like there's animal ghosts out there. We just aren't seeing them because why are we gonna see them?
Maybe are they a little bit smarter than us? They have intuition.
But think about it with like reincarnation shit, which I know I'm taking this to a different fucking path. But reincarnation shit, they say if you're good, you come back as a human. If you're bad, you come back as an animal, right? So
cockroach.
So what if those animals are just, their soul is human? You feel me? So that's why we're not seeing them as an animal ghost. You see them as a human ghost. You see what I'm saying? Because if they're not a good animal, wouldn't they become, like, we're talking about just straight up reincarnation, wouldn't they become back as like a slug or something? And when you die, if you're bad, you'll come back as an animal.
Wouldn't that be annoying if there was like ghosts of bugs? Like
just everywhere.
And you're only haunted by ghosts of bugs.
That's a fact. Those things are dying by the hundreds of
you're
millions.
Like at like a campfire and you're like getting bit by bugs, but then you're being haunted by bugs too. And you're like, you don't know.
Over, yeah.
The plague for life.
Because I was like doing some research and I came across a story of a person. This is like recent within the 2010s that this stuff was happening to him, and they posted on Reddit, which it's not 100% verified, right? Like, it's not
anybody can post it.
Yes, anyone can post it there. They can say anything about anything, right? It's whatever. So it's like
where a lot of creepypasta gets started.
Yeah, so it's like 50-50, but they were just posting in there. First thing is that they said at age 5 their grandfather died, right? So you keep that in mind. They said between 2009 and 2010 at night, they would always hear shuffling footsteps in the hallway where all the bedrooms are, right? The doors would be open and there would be no one there, and everybody else is sleeping. And their mom corroborates the story. Like, the mom would hear the same shit, like shuffling footsteps but no one's there, right? Someone coming down the hallway. No answer to it.
No answer,
right? And then
this is why we got to get I almost want to get that guy in that said he was possessed, and do like a quick little interview or something, because I want to hear from somebody that's been haunted. I want that. We could try and do both.
We should try interviewing a reverend or priest of some sort too.
That's performed an exorcism. Yeah. Do you know how rare that shit is, bro? Mm-hmm. People don't get exorcised every day. Does anyone at the table know anyone that's been exorcised?
Nope.
Nah. but I myself have gone through ritual.
I bet you have. What kind of ritual are we talking?
All right, so I remember being in the 8th grade and I was acting up in school and shit, right? My mother took me to this healer, or bushman, as she would say.
All
And
right.
he had all kinds of herbs and shit, and I was supposed to get into a bathtub. My mother was present, and he was there, and I got in my boxers into the bathtub, and he like put all these oils and leaves and shit on me, and that was supposed to get all the bad energy out of me.
I'm starting to think this guy was just like making a soup or some shit. He's like, he oiled me up. There was bay leaves.
Right,
It was
me and shit.
the aroma.
He did some kind of prayer. He did some kind of prayer, and that was supposed to bring blessings towards me, but I still fucked up in school for a couple years.
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, like, how do you think that paid off? How much did she pay for that?
I don't know what she paid for. That's a really good question.
A little bit of weed?
Yeah. It's feasible. The Bushman got to smoke some bush too. Get his mind right.
Yo, so check this, right? So there's another one that they put in here.
Another creepy pasta.
Yeah, another one, right? It said 2012 during the day. They're in a new house. They moved a new house and everything. They said that their spiritually inclined uncle became possessed by an elderly female twice. Started speaking
The
in...
story
check
sounds
this.
like shit.
Check this. They said... started
My
speaking in
spiritually
tongues.
inclined uncle.
Yeah, because he's like a person who goes to church and is like a person who's always real spiritual. So they became possessed and started speaking like a woman and started speaking in tongues and then started speaking in Spanish.
So the biggest weirdo in the family.
Out of nowhere, he just starts speaking like a woman and starts speaking in tongues and then starts speaking in Spanish.
People walk through them church doors and they start speaking in tongues like...
The Holy Ghost, that's a good one. I know you've seen the Holy Ghost in church.
I could tell you right now.
What?
Listen. Years ago, and I put this on Everything I Love, word to...
You really seen a Holy Ghost in church?
Well, in Baptist church, you see a lot of people
Check this.
they surrender themselves to the Holy Ghost, and then they run up and down the aisle. I used to get slapped up for this. I stopped wanting to go to church as a little kid because as a little kid, I didn't understand, so I would crack the fuck up. Yeah, they used to take me down to the basement and beat the fuck out of me. But
because you knew it was bullshit.
because I was cracking up,
You couldn't hide it.
dying because they would run up and down the aisles, and old ladies doing somersaults,
Doing
and
the
all types
worm
of
and shit.
Yeah, down
Like
the fucking
Scotty Too
aisle.
Hottie.
And I would laugh, and I didn't understand
Because it was hilarious.
I didn't
You
understand
understood
the
perfect.
spirituality of it. I was ignorant to it. It's kind of like, to me, I will say it like this. I know you're probably like, what
You're
the fuck?
ignorant now.
You're like, what the fuck? But for people who listen to heavy music and have gone into a mosh pit, that's like a spiritual setting. If you're a dancer, to me, it's like another form of art being taken under the Holy Ghost. Now, I don't fully believe that something's taken over. I think they're just tired of being good during the week because they're all like fucking high and mighty, and they just want to let loose in church. That's what I really think.
They just
want to
scream
of getting some steam off.
I believe that
I could see that.
I believe there's a version of that though that
Doesn't make it
people
real.
are connecting to a higher power on the other side. Just because like when you look at like all types of those shamans and everything else, like when they go pray enough and do their shit enough and like are really into it, it's like they go into almost a trance and they're doing
I could do
some
it right
different
now.
shit.
Watch.
You couldn't do it. But you're not, because you can snap out of it like that, right?
Come on, bro. Nothing touched me right there. Oh, shit. No, nothing that time either.
So now, as a person who doesn't believe in none of that stuff, what if you woke up one day and you see one of the people who lives in your house doing some real wild possessed by demon type shit? Are you gonna believe then?
That's what he's waiting for. He wants proof.
No, I don't want that.
Don't backpedal now, son. What
No,
the fuck?
shut the fuck up.
Some
That's not
shit
the proof.
like
That's
crawling,
not the type of
some
proof I need.
some crab crawling, head turned, like looking at you, like, and you're talking to the, and they're just staring through you. You can look into their eyes and tell that person's not there. There's someone else.
Yeah, I just think you wake up one morning. Good morning, babe. Good morning, honey.
You just look at her eyes and then she's not there.
I would just be like,
someone else.
Did you take Xanax? did you drink on Xanax?
Dick. Rip your whole shit off.
I mean, if
I believe now.
if a spirit, if a fucking demon confronts me, I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and believe. I think I'm gonna have to go ahead and believe.
Ty's gonna show up in church that Sunday.
I'll have like a nice suit on and everything.
Right?
You're gonna have the Italian rosaries.
I wouldn't be in a white church though, because I remember going to church when I was younger, and my grandma always went to the Salvation Army Church downtown Schenectady. And I would say it's like a mixed batch of people that actually show up to the shit, but like the pastor was white, like it was very like dry, and like the songs were real slow.
That's why I think the Baptist church, bro.
There wasn't no flavor, so I'd have to go to like a black church, or like maybe like a real hardcore Puerto Rican church or something.
Bro, you're not gonna understand anything they're saying.
as long as they play music.
There's a Spanish church on Union Street. You can go there on Sundays, bro, and they're speaking all Spanish.
The Random Bull crew goes to Puerto Rican church. I don't know. Maybe a future episode. Wait on it.
We could try that.
Try and make me spiritual.
But you don't want to not believe so much that the other side is like, we need to show this guy that we're here.
Have any of you guys ever lived in a haunted house? Because I don't believe, and you guys, actually made me think of some shit. My house, I've had appliances turn on and off by themselves.
That happens to me too. Not in the new place. I think the new place I'm in now is fine. Where we're currently around in Troy, my old house. Yeah. They say that
let me tell you what. I got a story for you.
Let me tell you what.
Okay.
What?
Buckle in for Keith's Haunted Hayride. I feel like it's a Toothless character.
My auntie, my auntie now that I was living with at the time, she says that the house was built on an Indian burial ground. Now, I mean, that's kind of the capital region in itself anyway, because how many fucking Indian names do we have?
The whole
Schenectady
upstate is
so I mean that goes without saying, but
they killed mad Indians and then named
all this shit after
Indian
I went to
Paranormal.
I went to Oneida Middle School.
That's reality. It was just fucked up.
Crazy.
Good old reality.
Mohanison.
But
so
come on, their shit was a fucking warrior.
So long story
short, aunt that was spiritually inclined.
Yeah, she's a little schizophrenic too. So maybe that could.
How are you gonna preface it when she was schizophrenic too?
Bro, she's still a person that can hear things we can't hear. It could be paranormal.
That's what the medicine is for.
Yo, but think about it. That's what they used to back in the day. Those people that we look at as crazy now, those were the oracles. Those are the fucking spiritual leader type people.
That's crazy.
Nah, you're talking about people that like thought about like gravity and shit, and they're like,
bro, I'm talking about the people that were leading the religious groups and shit back in the day, like Jesus times.
Yeah, forget
those people,
Joan of Arc.
Those people were looked
Joan
at.
Arc,
those people
man.
now this day will be looked at as insane.
She could have been hearing voices. We call that schizophrenia when you hear
but
voices.
Joan of Arc was a warrior too. She was out there on the battlefield slashing and dashing.
Because she heard the voices that told her to slash and dash. If they told her to fucking go to a monastery and pray, she would probably do that. But they said, yo, go kill.
Yeah, but it wasn't just like go. It was like, yo, go into this battle that's about to happen and win. So she's like, all right, I got you.
Yeah, because there's plenty of people
and what did they do?
right
They
now.
burned her at the stake.
Yeah, there's plenty of people in prison right now, like saying, "Oh, somebody told me to do it. That's why I did it. That's why I killed."
And there's a bunch of people in prison today that if they heard voices back then, they would
my grandma's dead now because the voices.
I mean, listen, Son of Sam, he said he killed all those people because his neighbor's dog, the spirit in it was telling him to do it. That was his whole argument.
Starting to get what Random Bull's about.